They don't want their children to call them racist. That is why they're trying to change history. That's why they're trying to block the real details of slavery, because they don't want to be called out by their kids for being racist.
Sorry, Mr. Columbus, but I heard at school that you spoiled paradise and you brought slavery and murder to peaceful people.
Leo?
Sorry, it's what I read and heard at school.
Caramba! Those are some accusations. The place I discovered was beautiful, but it wasn't exactly a paradise of civilization, and the native people were far from peaceful.
I'm telling you what happened, and it just hit me like a lightning bolt. Somebody said something real racist in front of their child, and their child called them on their shit and said, "Grandpa, that's racist. Mommy, that's mean. Daddy, that's not right. Uncle, that's not what happened. My teacher had said. My teacher told me that's wrong. My teacher said it was bad." And they got their feelings hurt.
What up, my beautiful black people? Welcome to Black People Politics Network. I'm Mr. Red. You see what she just said? That's the truth. White folks are scrambling to rewrite history because of their kids. Raised in a more inclusive world, they're starting to see the lies for what they are. If young people growing up knowing the full truth about slavery, about genocide, about Jim Crow, and then they can't keep the illusion of white supremacy alive, and that terrifies them. Because if their kids don't see us as the enemy, then the them versus us conversation, well, it falls apart. Now, I talked about this PragerU issue in a previous video. Today, I wanted to show you Columbus's own words that he used to prove that they are whitewashing history. Additionally, I want to show you the contrast of what they're trying to hide versus the reality that we're seeing here on the ground. We have a lot to discuss today. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
The place I discovered was beautiful, but it wasn't exactly a paradise of civilization, and the native people were far from peaceful.
You're trying to justify your own weakness.
But you just said the Taino were peaceful.
They pretty much are. But there are other tribes who aren't. The Taino I had met had cuts and scars and bruises all over them. I asked why, and they told me about the Caribs, who are vicious, warring cannibals.
Cannibals? Like they
Eat people, see.
Whoa.
Right?
You only made it worse.
All the things that are bad in the world I come from, jealousy, lying, murder, war, it all exists in the land I just found too. But in Europe we draw the line at things like eating people. These people in your time who think it was a peaceful paradise are misinformed.
You're not better than us!
Now see, that's why they got Trump. See, that's why Trump is teaming up with propaganda factories like PragerU, feeding our kids cartoon versions of history. I mean, look at this nonsense. Christopher Columbus turned into Saturday morning Christopher Columbus. They turned him into a Saturday morning cartoon hero. But even in the cartoon, you notice that the little boy tried to call him out, tried to call it for what it is. They used it as an opportunity to spin it. Oh, he was civilizing savages, when Christopher Columbus was the biggest savage there was. Nah, we're not going to sugarcoat genocide. Columbus didn't discover America. He brought slavery, murder, and grape. And no cartoon is going to erase that shit.
This is one of the darkest things I've ever read in history, and it's about Columbus meeting the natives. In his letters, he writes, "They are very simple and honest and exceedingly liberal with all they have, none of them refusing anything he may possess when he is asked for it. They exhibit great love towards all others in preference to themselves." He says, "They are the best people in the world and above all the gentlest, without knowledge of what is evil, nor do they murder or steal. They love their neighbors as themselves, and they have the sweetest talk in the world, always laughing." After saying all that, he then writes, "They would make fine servants. With 50 men we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want."
Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this again is because I wanted to bring the receipts and show you that Christopher Columbus proved how murderous he was with his own words. He called the people there good people, kind-hearted, willing to give the shirt off their backs, salt of the earth is pretty much what he kind of said. Willing to give anything. And then he said, that's why they'll be easy to conquer with just a handful of men. That's the blueprint of colonization right there. They smile in your face and then call you noble while plotting your destruction. We've seen it way too many times. Same playbook, different century. We're not falling for it anymore.
I want people to know that this is a fascist takeover of DC, and that our youth are going to be directly impacted by this. Get out of the way! It doesn't fucking matter about me. I will be fine. Our kids will not be.
This video really pissed me off this morning. Everything we've been told about harsh and unusual punishment, either A, don't apply during fascist takeover, or B, has never applied to black women. The woman y'all see in that video being arrested is a Afeni, and on my grandfather's grave, she 10 toes down for the struggle. Roll the clip. Afeni was lawfully recording the interaction between Metro Police and 3 DC youth. Afeni paid her fare into the turnstile to get a better view of the cops interrogating. Within 5 minutes, they had drastically escalated and they had put a boot in her face and sprayed her with pepper spray. The community alert. Tonight, the Metro Transit violently escalated and began to stop as an illegal fare evasion. We're calling the community show up for Afeni with love, solidarity, and presence. Free her. American citizens are having the military sicked on them in their city of residence because the president manufactured a narrative around crime. And because individuals believe that black folks are inherently criminal, everybody bought into the narrative.
And the reason why us black folks are calling this out because the playbook never ended. Look at today, a black woman arrested for trying to protect young black men, young kids, from being harassed by the cops. That's the modern day version of Columbus conquering. You stand up, you resist, and they slap the cuffs on you to remind you to stay in your place, boy. So you see, with black people, you can't hide the truth because we live the lie every day that you all perpetuate.
So we have an update on this story.
One house. Who? You. What? Start running, I'm gonna shoot you. Start running. Start running.
You just see, I got you on canvas and you don't.
So I spoke with the individuals filming that video, and they tell me that police were called for something completely unrelated to what you see on that video. And apparently police allegedly started questioning everybody just hanging out. And then more people came out, and that's where this all started. And this cop, Officer Jeffrey Fram, he's already been a problem for the city of Chicago. Apparently listed in a $270,000 lawsuit for allegedly false arrest after false arrest after false arrest.
You say you was gonna do what?
You say you gonna do what? Shoot me? No. You say you gonna shoot me if I run? You gonna shoot me if I run?
This man is an 18-year veteran, and he still works for this police department, telling young black men to run, and he was going to murder them. Why is he still employed?
Well, then you got this cop right here, straight up bragging that he would unalive young brothers for running. Not even on his own assignment. Just raw hatred and power weaponized against us. That's not protection. That's intimidation. That's terror. That's state sanctioned. That's exactly what we're seeing in DC. And this is exactly why we need to stand up against it. That's why we need to fight back against it. And that's why we need to not be silent whenever it comes across us. Anyone who shows you this stuff, make sure that you like and support those content creators because they are doing everything in their power to try to rewrite history, but also silence dissent. Not have you without hope. Sister Afeni is free, and that's what matters, because every time they try to bury us, we push back, we fight, and we survive. But we shouldn't have to fight for the right to breathe in our own communities. We shouldn't have to fight for the right to exist. And I wanted to show you that she was freed so that you feel some bit of relief, some bit of hope. And I know that it's not enough. It's never enough. But we need to celebrate victories where we can. Good luck to this young sister. I hope more people are still willing to stand up when they see injustice being perpetuated on to people who don't deserve it. And you don't have to be black to fall into that category. If more white people stood up against racial injustice, then there'd be no room for a person like Trump to get into power.
This is your daily reminder that the only reason why we're in this situation is because the white population is declining, and they are afraid that people of color in power will do to them what they've done to us.
And this is the core of it. This is why they're rewriting history. Why they're doubling down on Trump. Why they unleash the cops upon us. They're afraid. Their population is declining, and they see the numbers. And deep down, they're terrified that when we're, or if we're the majority, we'll treat them the way they treated us. And we absolutely should. But guess what? We're not you all. We don't care about your skin color. We just want to be able to live a life of dignity and freedom, just like you say you want. But you all can't get past your hate. When you have two children of different colors and races playing together without any interactions from their parents, they play together. See, they don't see the color. All of this hatred, all of this discrimination, all of this is taught. All of this is deep down insecurities that ain't our damn fault. Go see a psychologist. Go get that shit worked out. Again, we don't need to erase their history. We don't need to enslave or terrorize them because justice is enough. But understand, they think in terms of domination, and that fear makes them dangerous.
So now they don't want any of that information fed to their children, so they can keep saying racist shit. And also so they can justify bringing back slavery. It's better to be a slave than dead. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the next time somebody try to hit you that, we don't want to teach that because we don't want our little white kids to feel bad about being white. No, you don't want your little white child to make you feel bad about being racist. Because your family legacy since the beginning of time, your records have been to destroy people of color. And if your child reads a book, they were like, hey, that's wrong. Don't do that, Grandpa. Don't say that, Mom. Don't. That's mean, Dad. And you can't handle it.
Here is the message. We can't trust them to teach our kids, nor should we have ever trusted them to teach our kids. That is our job. We have to pass down the real history, uncut, unfiltered. We have to archive these videos, these stories, because one day they'll say that it never happened. And we have to support each other, support the platforms just like this one. So make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel to get more content just like this. Because if we don't, they will try to erase us. And not just from the textbooks, but from the future. This isn't just about fighting lies. It's about making sure that the truth outlives them. Stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.